And I've tried to do this video for my friend. We had issues with Facebook, we had issues with just a lot of things, but let's just go into it. The real issue that he asked me is, can a sodomite be holy? Because I was talking to him and telling him that a sodomite can be holy. Uh, Even an adulterer can be holy. Murderer can be holy. Even a person that has never, ever truly walked with God could be holy. Well, let's explain what I mean. You're going to have to look at what does the word sodomite mean, not just what they do. What does the word holy mean? And when we look and see what these words mean, we might be able to come up with the answer. Earlier, I tried to come in and do my screen. And again, when I clicked on it to show, it's actually acting like it's going back through. It did. If you look and it went back through as if my screen was not really up. So after I do this class, I'm going to shut down my computer and restart it because I don't like things being set because I will have spent time setting things up before I even came to you all. And so you'll have to walk with me go through this. It's kind of distressing, but I can do it. So the real issue is, can a sodomite be holy? Let's look at the first thing, what the word holy means. So if you look on my left screen with me, I had a search up. I don't know if it's still up. Let's see. Let's put one up right here. Let's look at the word holy. And we look at the word holy, we're going to start seeing words where the Bible talks about holy. In order, when I was on with him, he would like the screen bigger. So let me make the screen bigger so that the print will be bigger. So click it up. There we go. So in Exodus 3 and 5, when Moses sees the bush burning but not consumed, the Most High uses terms like a priest. The priests, they draw nigh to God and they are able to do things for the people. He told Moses, draw not nigh hither, but put the shoes off your feet, for the place that you stand on is holy ground. Now, you may not think about that, but the ground has nothing to do with being righteous. It has nothing to do with obeying God insofar as the ground being holy. The ground is made holy because Yah has declared that this is sacred space. Because I'm right here, is sacred space, and I've designated it as holy. But let's look at the word holy. So I move over here into that fifth verse of Exodus, and I'm clicking on the word holy. On the bottom down here where my cursor is moving, this it says surface level. So I'm going to take it back to where we started in Exodus 3 and 5, where it says, you tell Moses, draw not, and pull it down here where you can see it so we can walk with me. And he said, draw not nigh hither. And the top line, look down, draw not nigh hither, put off the shoes from off your feet, for the place whereon you standeth is holy. That's the part that I wanted you to see. And so when I clicked on it, it went back to that word there. The word here, Kodesh, is a sacred thing. I want you to hear the word.
Kodesh,
Let me make the volume go a little bit higher because I have so much love in my heart.
Kodesh,
Okay, that means something holy. They would have votive voluntary offerings. So you're dealing with the area of something being Kodesh. What does Kodesh mean? Kodesh, in that case, this is a sanctuary, but I need you to understand sanctuary comes from the word Kodesh as well. I want you to see it in another place. And then it says, at the first day of the week, you'll have a holy convocation. That's a set apart convocation to the Most High. Tim, you want to pull up a definition? Let's see if we pull up a definition. Kodesh, holiness, a sacred place or thing, sanctity or consecrated thing. I'll pull up that dictionary. I clicked on it. Which dictionary is this? This one is the Lexham Theological Word Book. Okay. It lets you see the word Kodesh, holiness, sacred place or thing, consecrated, sanctity. So it has nothing to do with the lifestyle insofar as your morals, insofar that being holy means you are morally right. Being morally right would mean that you are in the position to be Kodesh because you've set aside yourself to be righteous. But you could also set aside yourself to be set apart to God and change your mind. You could go and touch a dead animal and become defiled. I submit to you that a person doing any kind of thing that God had told them not to do, especially since that's the subject we're talking about, sodomites, they could still be holy and unrighteous, still be holy and ungodly. But somebody might say, Tim, if they are holy, they're saved and they can't be destroyed. That's not true. That's a lie. Let me open up another Bible right quick and show you. Do ESV. I like the way ESV gives you Jude 5. I'm going to give Jude 5. Jude 5, click on it. The brother of the Messiah says, I want to remind you, though you once fully knew it, that Jesus or Yahshua, who saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed those who did not believe. Let's go back to the authorizer, what we call King James versions. Now I will put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how that, let me come down here. I don't show table of contents. I don't want that shown now. Close it. You're in my way. I'm in verse 5. I will put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not. These are people that he had made holy. These are people that he had saved. These are people that he called sons. Now, understand this. Before they came out of Egypt, they had been designated as sons of God. They came out of Egypt way after they had been called sons of God. Where you get that from, Tim? Exodus chapter 4, 22. Listen to what he says. In 4:21, the Most High God says, and you shall say to Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, the Lord, Israel is my son. Israel has been declared to be my son. I haven't even given them the Ten Commandments. I haven't done the covenant with them, but they've shed blood and put on the doorposts. Israel is my son, even my firstborn. That's not going to be undone. Now look at what he says here. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. If you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, even your firstborn. So Israel was his firstborn son, and the brother of the Messiah said he destroyed those that did not believe. What does that have to do with sodomites and being holy? People think that being holy means to be righteous. Look at what he tells them in Exodus 19 when he gets ready to make a covenant with them. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy Kodesh, sanctified nation. The word Kodesh, again, Kados, the way it's pronounced or spelled in English. Again, the word.
Kadosh,
Let's look at one more, and then I'm going to move to the end. Let's go to 11, Leviticus. 11:44. It has nothing to do with your denomination. It has nothing to do with you wearing a dog collar. That's what the Roman Catholic Church, when they made that dog collar, preachers like to wear. It's called a dog collar. It doesn't make you holy. Doing this, let's see, that doesn't make you holy. What makes you be holy is something that's set apart. Do you understand? People call the Quran the Holy Quran. And people say it's not holy. Why not? It's set apart to their God. Look at the words. Look here. 11:44. For I am Yahweh your Elohim, the Lord your God. You shall sanctify. Look at the letters here. The QDS. And listen to the word.
Kiddush.
Kiddush. A derivative where you get the same word Kadash from. Why? How do you know it's the same? It's holy, removed from common use, subject to special treatment, forfeit to the sanctuary. So if you give something and say it's dedicated to the Lord, that means you've made it holy. That's one of the things that the Messiah had a problem with in Matthew 15. People say you're supposed to do stuff for your parents, and they say, "Oh, we've called it korban. It's under the ban. What we've done is we've dedicated to the Lord. It's holy now, and we can't do nothing for them." So he says, you shall sanctify yourself and you shall kodesh yourself and you shall be holy, which is kadosh, for I am holy, which is kadosh. Neither shall you defile yourself. You can be holy and defile yourself. Defiling is to become ceremonially unclean, defile or desecrate. It did not say to unholy the person. If the altar was set up to be holy because you went and did something to it, it doesn't mean that altar wasn't set apart for that. It can be defiled and be destroyed. Now let's look over here. We've looked at holy. Holy is not righteous. Holy is set apart. But let's look at the other part of this where I talked about sodomite. Now I had that pulled up, but when you saw me having to go through and my computer restarted, all of the things that I had set up, it went away. But due to the fact that I know my material, I can still pull it up. In Deuteronomy, do you want to move that to the other side, Tim, since you've been working on that side? Yeah, I'll move that Bible to this side. Now, I moved the Bible to that side. It says, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, or nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. What is a sodomite? If you look down here at the word sodomite, the word Kodesh, it's a male cult prostitute. That's what a sodomite was. It's a consecrated, as a consecrated cult prostitute. To be removed or to be holy, removed from common use, subject to special treatment, forfeit for the sanctuary. To be holy, to be hallowed, to be sanctified. The Sodomites and many of the cults were holy. They were set apart for that job. The male prostitutes, they would do stuff like that in Greek. They would have cult prostitutes. So what Yah God said, there shall be no whore, no woman that's of mine that's holy, that will give herself over for sex to raise money for the temple or to do some kind of ritualistic thing to honor me, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. No holy cult prostitute, no person set apart to do this for the temple. Notice looking at 1 Kings 14:24, and there were sodomites in the land, and they did according to all of the abominations of the nations which Yahweh cast out before the children of Israel. I click on the word. What is the word? Kadesh, holy. sacred, set apart. Yes, sodomites can be holy. Sodomites don't only have to be the ones that love the Most High God. They would have sodomites that came into Israel. Israel would pick up their ways. First Kings 15:12. And he took away the sodomites out of the land and removed all the idols that his father had made. Let me open this side over here to a Bible and send me hyperlinks over here. Send hyperlinks here. Let me click on it. Let's look at it. Who are we talking about? King Asa. He reigned in the stead of his father. In the 20th year, Jeroboam, king of Israel, and 41 years he reigned in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Micaiah, the daughter of Abishalom. Asa did that which was right in the eyes of Yahweh, as did David his father, and he took away the Sodomites. You think because people practice sodomy and do things like that, they can't be spiritual? Look at them. They can set themselves apart for whatever God they want to, but that doesn't mean Most High Yahweh won't accept that they're defiled. They're doing abomination. It's called toiva. Other cults enjoy that. Fertility cults. And he removed the idols that his father has made. First Kings. Say that's when I got this thing. Let me know in line, just pulling it up. And the remnants of the Sodomites that remained in Asa, he took in the days of Asa, his father, he took out of the land. Who was Asa the father of? Jehoshaphat. Second Kings 23:7. And he break down the houses. Listen, this was this was amazing. Let's click on it, make it come over here. Who do we have as king here? This is going to be a good one for you. This was the king, and the king said and gathered the elders of Judah and Jerusalem. And the king went up to the house of the Lord, to the men of Judah and the inhabitants with him, the priests and the prophets, both small and great. And he read in their ears all the words of the book of the covenant, which was found in the house of the Lord. When King Josiah had that read and understood from Huldah, it broke his heart. It said, and the king stood by a pillar and made a covenant before Yahweh to walk after Yahweh and to keep his commandments and his testimonies and his statutes with all their hearts and all their souls, and to perform the words of the covenant that was written in the book. And all the people stood to the covenant. And the king commanded Hilkiah the high priest and the priests and the second order and the keepers of the door to bring forth out of the temple of Yahweh all the vessels. And they brought the things in. And then look at verse 5. And he put down the idolatrous priests. They had idolatry inside of the worship place. They had defiled the worship place, but the worship place was still holy. The priests were still holy. They were idolatrous. They were defiled, sinful, and wretched. It says, and he put down the idolatrous priests, which the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places in the cities of Judah and the places around Jerusalem, because they had set up other places to be holy, high places, groves, and other things for other gods. It says, but I want you to hear the rest of this. And it says, and they burnt incense, or like they prayed to Baal, burning incense, form of prayer. And it says, they burnt incense to Baal, to the sun, to the moon, to the planets, and all the house of heaven. And he brought out the grove. That's where they have the Asherah poles, for female deities. And they brought the grove, they brought out the grove from the house of Yahweh without Jerusalem to the brook of Kidron and burnt it at the brook of Kidron and stamped it small to powder and cast the powder thereof upon the graves of the children of the people. And he break down, listen, here we come to Sodomites, and he break down the houses of the Sodomites. They had houses. They had houses that were, look, that were by the house of Yahweh, where the women, They wove hangings for the groves, idolatrous gods. And he brought all the priests out of the cities of Judah and defiled their high places where their priests burnt incense from Geba to Beersheba and break down the high places at the gates that was at the entering of the gate of Joshua, the governor of the city, which were on a man's left hand at the gate of the city. What I'm saying is, and what I'm trying to show you, Sodomites were in the land. Sodomites. In 2nd Ezra 7 and 36, Abraham prayed for the first Sodomites. Yeah, he prayed for them in the land of Sodom. But guess what? They got delivered. They got delivered. I believe it was chapter 14. Abraham makes a covenant with the Most High God. Chapter 15, they deal with what they deal with Hagar. In chapter 16, but by the time we get to chapter 19, when the Most High God sends his son to the earth, the cry of Sodom had gone so badly. And they had the opportunity to walk with the God of Abraham, and that king had the chance to feast with him and Melchizedek, Abraham and Melchizedek, and they didn't. The Sodomites, I'm not going to tell you every person that's called a sodomite was in the religious cults, but the ones that we're talking about, when you read in the Bible, talk about the sodomites, they practice that, and the Bible would call them often a dog. So what's the point? The point is this. If you think being holy means being righteous, how can the ground be holy? An animal brought in to be sacrificed is holy. The vessels are holy because they're set apart. The altar is holy. The wood is holy. The gold in there is holy. The silver is holy. The dead ram skin dyed red is holy because it's set apart. This is how a sodomite can be holy and not righteous. Israel was holy unto the Lord. They were called sons of God, and he destroyed them in the wilderness and only allowed their children to go through. So you grow up and you say, I'm holy, I'm holiness, and holiness is better than everything else, and you can still be holy. Just look in your life. How many people you know that's holy, practice sodomy, practice adultery, fornication, slander, violence, lying, every other such like thing that the Bible says shall not inherit the kingdom of God. But when they are set apart to God, when they said, I've set myself apart to God, if they've made a covenant with God, the most fearful thing that the scripture teaches that I'm thinking it's Ecclesiastes 5 and 4. It's been so long since I looked at it, but what it talks about is an individual that makes a vow to the Most High God. And if this is it, let's look at it. Get rid of that search now. Verse 4, when thou vowest a vow, when you make a vow to God, I'm going to be set apart to you. When you vows a vow unto God, defer not to pay it. For he has no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that you should not vow than you should vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say thou before the angel or the messenger that it was an error. I made a mistake. Don't do that. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice and destroy the work of thy hands? So after you look at this, my brother, if this is sufficient, you'll see that the holy has been made to mean righteous. No, we need to be holy and righteous, set apart, sacred and righteous. But an individual can be holy because he has set aside himself. Just like he can be religious and still be wicked. Well, that's all on that. I hope I gave an answer. If next time maybe we can Zoom, we can go back and forth. But I did want to keep my word to you and give you what I had on that. in brief without making a career move. So may the Most High Yah bless you and keep you, make his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you, my brother, and give you his shalom. Thank you for inquiring. Let me end this and we'll move on.